But let's deal with, in general, depression. Now, there are two hallmarks of depression. This doesn't mean symptoms, but these are sort of manifestation that make things very, very difficult when you're dealing with a person who is clinically depressed. Number one, almost all depressed people have some element of twisted thinking. And twisted thinking means thinking that's clearly off balance. I'm a loser. Nothing I do I succeed at. A person can be hugely successful, but when they have this twisted thinking, the pervasive thought over and over and over, well, it's a hallmark. It makes them far worse. Often it's a cause. But the point is, you'll notice almost always there's going to be twisted thinking. And the second element is a pervasiveness. Pervasiveness doesn't just mean now. It's always been this way. It always was this way and always will be this way. And she views everything now through that lens. A woman who self-reported having a happy marriage for 10 years suddenly looks back on her entire marriage as it was always terrible. And this is the point. It's like seeing the world through gray glasses. Everything looks gray. Now, I really want to spend a minute defining this because it's very important to understand conceptually. So in the past, we discussed something called emotional hijacking. Emotional hijacking is when something takes over your brain. It might be jealousy, it might be anger, it might be laziness, but it takes over your brain and suddenly you're thinking differently, you feel differently, you view things differently, you see the world through a colored lens. As if this were the normal vision you see, and suddenly it changes the way you look at the same scene because you're seeing it through a filter. So for instance, if it's anger, you'll see the entire scene through a red filter. You're looking at the same phenomena, but you're looking at through a lens that's red and therefore changes the way you view it. Jealousy might be green, laziness might be a heavy brown, and depression is this heaviness, heavy downward. It's like putting on glasses that are deeply tinted. Now everything you look at looks gray. But again, here's the problem. Past, present, and future. It's always been dark. It always will be dark. The way that it is now, it will be forever and ever and ever. And it's always been that way. And of course, you come to the final problem. The final problem is there is no hope. There is no hope. There is no hope. And if you ever dealt with a person who's depressed, if you ever spoke to a person who's depressed, I once had a woman in here in my office, and I said to my wife afterwards, I'm depressed. I spent 2.5 hours with her, back and forth, back and forth. Whatever I said, she proved would end up badly. Whatever I tried to evoke hope, try to come up with a plan, at the end, I was, there is no hope. Okay, now, very quickly we'll go through this because, again, it's imperative. Forget this case per se, but understanding depression in general is very, very important.